professional performance, done what we needed to do just to, get the 3 points. Make Frank Lampard cry. I'll take that. I'll take that every day of the week. Final score, Everton 0, Wolves 1. I'll be honest with you. When I saw the team selection today, I was really, really negative. There's 3 players for me that I still can't get my head around why they're, playing. Firstly, Marcel, unless for me it more goes down to Aït-Nouri can't play 2 games in a week. He's got horrendous fitness. I still think he's an unbelievable player, and for me, when he's fit, he's one of the first players in the team sheet. But he can't afford to play 2 games in a week, which is a big, big problem at his age. I think he's only like 19 now, and to be fair, hopefully that'll come, in the next couple of seasons or so. But this season, he just can't do it. And Marcel coming in, I'm just not really impressed by him. And he just almost kind of slows everything down. And his first touch is always, always makes him to go backwards and then always makes that backward pass. Romain Saiss, who ever since he's come back from the African Cup of Nations, he's not really impressed me. And he's just been, what's the word I'm looking for? Defensively, he has to work even harder because he makes the initial mistakes. His passing, he looks like he's going to kick it out at every opportunity. And he just isn't strong enough and commits silly fouls. If I was Totti Gomez, I'd be thinking, what have I done wrong to get dropped? If I was Willy Bolly, after how good he was on Thursday, maybe he wasn't fit enough to play the 2 games, which you could probably understand, really. But if I'm Totti Gomez, I'd be thinking, why can't I get a game in this team? And Leander Dendoncker, who, even when we, win football matches, he's just still useless. I mean, he can't run fast. The amount of times Jimenez actually produced decent balls to him in the second half, and he just wasn't quick enough. I mean, if we've got any winger with even just a little bit of pace, they've got those balls in them. But just Dendoncker just is wasted. But it looks as though in the formation that we play him, we actually don't play him in the midfield. We play him more as a right winger. And we've got 2 right wingers on the bench. It doesn't make any sense. And those 3 players were causing us all of the problems in the first half. We just, really couldn't get going at Everton. Everton looked a lot better than us in terms of, creating that ball over the top. There was a lack of communication between just Sarr and the back 3. And we didn't have a clue where we was going. I was very much thinking this could go very much in a similar vein to, how the Crystal Palace and the West Ham game went when we played that formation. Second half comes along and we start to dictate the midfield. Once we start dictating the midfield, then that's where, we start to get our performances. But it's particularly Ruben Neves and João Moutinho. I mean, the longer the game went on, I thought Ruben Neves was absolutely unbelievable and he looked a hell of a lot better. Just that little run the little runs he was just producing, the balls into the box. I mean, we was causing so many problems every time that ball was going into the middle. It was just going to be a matter of time before we obviously put one in the back of the net. And of course, Conor Cody, if only, someone mentioned that he was a Liverpool fan scoring against Everton and he's got an uncle called Tony. If only those things were mentioned, then it's a good goal from Cody and he's having an unbelievable season. I've been one of his harshest critics, not just, last season, but, even in our first couple of, the first 2 seasons in the Premier League, I was very critical of Conor Cody. This season, he looks to be a threat, not just in our box, but their box. I mean, he looks like a defender, which I didn't think I'd actually be saying, and he's proven everyone wrong, which is exactly what I wanted him to do. I wanted to prove me wrong, and I wanted him to prove many other supporters wrong. And after that, we just kind of dictated the game, to be honest with you. I thought Johnny was absolutely sensational in that wing-back position. To be fair, Marcel actually got better as the game went on. Saiss got better as the game went on. Podence looked really, really lively. The only thing is, it's a shame that, Wang's now injured again. I think that with Wang, it's kind of a bit of a difficult one, and I think he is a pretty good player. He's just very average. That's kind of the assessment that I'm getting from him, and it looks as though we are probably going to sign him permanently, which I'm not completely mad about signing him. Same time, he'd probably be a good squad player to have in there, really. Sarr didn't really have anything to do. And you just knew that Everton were not going to cause us any problems in the second half. We had that game so under control. It was quite funny actually to hear the reactions of their fans proper kicking off at their players, which is exactly what you got to do. As soon as they make one backwards pass, the fans are on their back, and then we can just work on that energy really. The John Joe Kenny tackle, I mean, it's stupid, isn't it, from him? I mean, we'll take them all day long. And it's a good 3 points. Moves us forward towards the Leeds game on Friday, where hopefully I think that we could get another 3 points. And I think that, you look at us and I don't see any reason why not. But we have to improve on the first half performances. I think once we work on them, then I think we'll be fine. We can't just rely on coming into the second half and basically, we can't rely on banking on it being 0-0 in the first half to then go into the second half, then we start playing our football. I feel as though that's something that does need to be worked on if we're going to, not just get a result in the next game, but obviously for the 9 games that we've got left in this season. Right then, thanks for having me on Talking Wolves, and should we renew the passports?
A well-needed victory in the context of our season, as Wolves come out 1-0 victors over Everton this afternoon. Wasn't our best performance in the world, but I thought it was significantly better in the second half than it was in the first. First was shades of Palace, shades of Arsenal. Just generally outplayed by a team that are fighting relegation this season, and I just think we were way off it. Reasons for this include the lineup from the get-go. Did not understand it at all. Marcel coming in for Aït-Nouri, and who was the other one? Dendoncker in, taking off a winger and bringing Dendoncker in to make a midfield 3. Did not understand it. I get the red zone, and that's probably the reason. That is the new kind of the thing that the backroom staff go off for players' fitness and stuff. But after winning 4-0 and having a dominant display over another relegation side, I don't understand why you're not going with your strongest team. Marcel and Dendoncker in the first half were absolutely abysmal. Their passing was off. Sace was included in that as well. Really wasn't happy with their passing. Additionally, Dendoncker and Marcel were just getting left out the game, passed through like they're in, could have played with 9 men and the result would have been similar. So not great. But the second half we stepped it up. A performance was needed and we went at them a bit more. The passes were kind of interlinking was coming off, and the passing was much more crisp and precise, which was giving Everton a whole deal of problems that they couldn't quite deal with, taking lots of yellows, fouling players all over the gaff, as we saw with the John Joe Kenny sending off late in the second half. So finally we managed to get some kind of play going between us, and it caused them enough problems. That's where goal came in as well. It was another second phase off a set piece, which we've been working really hard on, clearly. Neves comes and delivers a great ball in for Conor Cody to head past Pickford, who was nowhere near it. It was a great header, a top striker's finish. So yeah, decent performance by all means off the second half, but the first half was not good at all. I'd be calling for Aït-Nouri and another winger in there for the next game, but I'll take it.
Well, somehow we've managed to win the game. Full time, Everton 0, Wolves 1. I got to say that first half performance was absolutely shambolic. When we all saw the team news, I thought, yeah, we're going to be in a bit of trouble here because the 5-3-2 hasn't really been working. Ryan being dropped for Marcel doesn't really offer anything going forward, and then Dendoncker in midfield, who didn't really do anything either. Yeah, the first half was pretty shambolic. It was like we transformed into the old second half FC of last season. We came out a completely different side in the second half. It was lucky to be 0-0, I think, because they had some good chances in that first half. But we came out a completely different side, really energetic, causing them a lot of issues. And to be honest, I think after the first 15 or so minutes of the second half, we probably deserved to be leading. No team had really created a golden opportunity, and what a player Ruben Neves is, by the way, because if we don't have him on the pitch today, we lose that game quite comfortably. He's just world class. We need to do everything in the club's power to be able to afford a new contract or wages from him. 250k a week, I really don't care. Sell Dendoncker to afford his wages. I'm really not bothered. We need to do everything in our power to keep this man at the football club because he is the reason that we've won that game today. Podence was really, really wasteful. And so was Raul, to be honest. He missed a good couple of chances, actually. I think the bicycle kick is actually probably a better chance than you think. But yeah, we need to be scoring some more goals in that game, I think. We were really wasteful, and then I was pretty disappointed to see Trincao come on instead of Chiquinho, because I think Chiquinho has been good value for substitutions lately. But yeah, I'm just really happy with the 3 points, knocking on the door of the top 6 once again. And we have some favourable fixtures. Villa also lost today, so and Leeds just about managed to squeak past Norwich. So those were our next couple of games. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how we can capitalise on that, and then hopefully push on further in the run into the end of the season. But yeah, come on Wolves. Great result. On to the next one.